Who wants to kick it off?
So one of the big challenges must be telling this broad of a story. You've got people all over the world at this point, and it's hard to keep the characters connected. And obviously, you get people who want to just see certain characters together. Everybody wants to see Juliana and Joe get back together. And so, how is it kind of juggling all of that story around? And are we hopefully going to see more of the characters in the same space again soon? For you?
Yes, we will. I mean, the end of season 2, we separated Juliana, Joe, and Frank. And season 3, the arc of season 3, brings all their fates back together in surprising ways, unpredictable ways. But you also begin to understand in season 3 how Juliana functions as the centre of all these lives across many, many universes. And that's a very weird and ambiguous thing to say, but her connection to all these characters is infinite. And we begin to give a glimpse into that and why she is such a unique individual.
I said, your father's work is like incredibly expansive and pivotal to science fiction. What's it like being able to put his vision into something that's a visual medium when has such massive ideas to deal with?
Well, it's a total privilege and a joy, especially when I have great partners, on these shows. I am surprised that we've had as many adaptations as we've had, because based on Blade Runner's failure, which I don't know if you know that, it was completely... I said to my mom, we left the theater, and I said, nobody will ever make another movie based on my dad's, in tears, based on my dad's work. That's changed. But no, for me, the work that I do is a way to channel grief in a positive way. And I'm just delighted that so many people respond to it, so many artists in particular. It makes my job a lot easier.
In the current kind of political climate that the whole world is in, with the rise of kind of a new version of fascism and extreme nationalism, how do you think your father would have reacted to the world right now?
I think he would be apoplectic. High Castle is an anti-fascist tale. He had such deep fears and anxieties about fascism, and he always described it as the enemy. So I think it feels like we're living in one of his novels at this point, more so every day, because things are so bizarre and troubling. So I think it'd be really painful for him. Hopefully we come out the other side. But yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
How important is it, as the series does kind of veer from Father's work, how important is it to try to keep things in the vein that it would be Philip K. Dick? Because there are things that go on in the series that aren't in the books. There's vast differences.
You mean on High Castle? Yes. Like in terms of we were expanding it?
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you face the challenge of making sure that it stays true to his vision?
I always say that we aim for fidelity in spirit, and according to the themes that he cared most about, which were, the nature of reality and what it means to be human. Those are really important themes throughout. And I, when I partner with people, and I pick partners very carefully, I really believe in empowering them to bring their A game, to do something special, and to, a lot of these stories were written in the 50s and during Cold War and all of that stuff, and so to be able to modernize and find a different way of telling those stories is as critical to modernize it. But I have to say, I haven't really had any issues with that with the groups of people I've worked with, and mostly because they're so collaborative. So we can have these conversations like, would that be contrary to what he would think or what he would write? And we just don't do that. We don't go that way. And people have been very supportive of that.
The third season of any show is an exciting place to be because you've had an opportunity to build this world over the first 2 seasons. Without spoiling, but giving us some teaser things, what things surprised you in your collaborations with your writers' room and producers about where certain people in your team wanted to take things further, and take tendrils further as we go into the third season?
Well, I think, to be honest, it's a constant dialogue between writers, production, the cast themselves about all things we passionately want to investigate and grow and build on. But at the same time, there is a natural progression to the character arc. One of the things that I think all of us really wanted to do in season 3 was drill back down into the character lives, into what motivates people individually, about what it was like, what it's actually like to live in this world. It's been delightful to see. I think season 3 gets back into character rather than this kind of big cerebral mission idea. But also, some of the really big ideas, the really big idea of this season is also inspired by unpublished work by...
to that question, that very question. Yeah, we took my dad started a sequel, his material to Man in High Castle.
Right.
Couldn't get back into that Nazi space. It just was too devastating. But he did have a big idea there that we were able to utilize in season 3. So I'm very excited about that. New stuff.
Having access to his unpublished work, like, are you able to like kind of constantly glean ideas and just concepts for the show, like from a lot of that? Because I know, like, with like the collection of like his exegesis and things like that, there's so many huge concepts in there that haven't been dealt with anywhere. So
yeah, the exegesis is much more. You probably know what it is his own. His own trying to figure out what had happened with him spiritually and with his visions and all of that stuff. So there isn't a lot of narrative stuff, but it is more as thinking about religion, spirituality, and things like that. But you could read it and you could get a general sense of the way in which he thought and what was important to him. And so in that regard, you can make sure to infuse things with that. But I wouldn't never really take, say for example, and I'm not sure if this is what you mean, but I wouldn't really take another story and use that concept and bring it into like High Castle, for example. Unless we're doing an anthology, which we did. Right. And in that case, each episode is a short story.
Right.
So one of the interesting things, and I talked to Rufus about this earlier, but was that the season really ended, and you came to this place where, with 2 characters who were villains for much of the series, you sympathized with them, and they actually did something that was for, in a way, the greater good. Can you talk about developing that and just making these characters human, even if they are a Nazi and
I think it would be a failure of the show if we didn't show that good people are capable of evil things. It's very easy to dismiss Nazis as monsters or fools or crazies or lunatics of one kind or another, just like terrorism dismisses lunatic fringe and religious fanatics. It's not true. Every human being is capable of good and evil, and just given the circumstances and the choices that we may not have to make in our lives, but if you were living a different life you would have to make, can force you down a road, down a path where you are complicit in horrors. And many people in many countries, in the Second World War went through those choices and had to confront them. And they may want to pretend it never happened now, but it did. And we must never allow ourselves to think that fascists can't come out of good society and good people, because that's exactly where it happens.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Can't wait for the 3rd season.
Right.